Hey, it's Wednesday. Welcome to the Backyard Blitz. I'm Brandon Peebler. Make sure that you, guess what? We should probably get that banner going. Now we got our stuff going on.
There it is.
We got Slick Coach Rick in the house with the shades on. What's going on, man?
Slick tonight.
Extra slick tonight, man. And of course, as always, we got Andrew Daly, Coach Daly 12. Follow him on Twitter down there. Fellas, what's going on, man? It's been a long week. Missed you guys.
You know, it's been a really long week because my Phillies, they took the L. It was a rough series for us, but I'm just proud of them for being there. You know, if there's no such thing as moral victories, but when you fire your coach halfway through the season and then you still make the World Series, I'm pretty excited about it. So, but yeah, big week in football, a lot to talk about. Rick, what about you, man? How was your week?
High school wise, the team that I coached for, good. My college team, terrible.
I feel like you've been saying that a lot.
I was going to text you during that game, and I started seeing what the score was, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not."
To be honest with you, I didn't even finish watching it. I was in Chicago. The organization that I did with Raj, we took a couple kids to an unofficial visit to Northwestern, so we watched it up there.
Oh, that's great.
Once I saw probably the first, second quarter, yeah, it was over with.
So how was your household? Because I know your significant other, she's a huge Florida State fan. I mean, she was active on Twitter all week.
Oh,
she was active on it like the next day. She's still probably posting about it right now. So how did that go?
A lot of Florida State fans been real active, as if they won a natty. That's what's crazy to me. And what they don't understand is just last year they were in the same situation. Just last season. And for 3 seasons straight, they were in the same situation. New coach, new hire. The only difference is that I might give them is they didn't have talent. We actually have talent. For whatever reason, we're just not putting it together.
Man, I think that's the most frustrating part. But let's talk a little bit about college football for a minute, because what a Saturday it was. Yeah. I know you boys watch it like crazy. I was glued to the TV because there was matchup after matchup after matchup Saturday.
I mean, you had the Georgia-Tennessee game, which I lost a lot of money on. I lost a lot of points on, if that's the politically correct term. Friggin' Tennessee came out and laid an egg against a Georgia team that, I mean, I think they're good. I think they're slightly overrated, but
Georgia?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a quarterback? Or I think Georgia's
I don't know
legit.
if their defense is as good as everybody thinks it is.
And
then Bama takes the loss, and then it was just a busy weekend in college football. But they brought up that screen where they had the brackets for the playoffs, and they were like, if we did a 12-team playoff, this is what it would look like right now. Dude, I think it looked pretty cool. The only thing is they have Tulane sprinkled in there. You get Tulane playing against teams like that. But it was busy weekend. I didn't bartend all weekend, so I had a lot of time to watch football, So
if you're going to pick a weekend not to bartend, that was the one to go. Now, I was personally really excited about the Notre Dame game because I was waiting for them to get their ass kicked.
Sure.
But they've lost to Marshall. They lost to some teams they probably shouldn't have lost to, but they beat ranked teams. So Clemson comes in there, right? They played Clemson tough in the past, but they punched them right in the mouth, straight up, we're going to run the ball, and they couldn't stop it at all. It was impressive. And then, of course, Alabama and LSU to go. I mean, you could tell that if that would have went into another overtime, I feel like that cream was starting to rise to the top for Alabama. The way that what's his name? Is it Bryce Young?
Bryce Young, yeah.
He can move the ball, throw passes, and just it looks easy for him.
The whole recruiting era at Alabama is coming to an end. They used to be the only school to get recruits, and now you got schools like Tennessee and LSU and all these other schools, these schools that that used to be prominent are starting to come back, But I don't know. Is Alabama's? I'm not saying Alabama's reign is over, but they might be coming back down to earth a little bit, and they have this year because they're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, and what like they're.
I mean, they're not going to make the playoffs. It is what it is. But
if they made the playoffs, it'd be a problem. Like there'd be a problem.
No 2-win team has ever made the playoffs yet, have they?
No.
I'm asking. I don't think they have.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I won't say that the talent is getting cut off or Bama is going back to whatever.
No, I think it's spreading around more.
Yeah,
they're not monopolizing it like they used to.
But you know why I feel that's in the place that it is because of the transfer portal.
Transfer portal. I think the NIL. There's a million.
There's NIL for sure. NIL for sure. But I feel like it's more transfer portal because you have a lot of guys that are going either from different Power 5 schools, going to these other Power 5 schools, on top of getting the NIL deals that originally wouldn't go to Bama, but they can play ball.
Lane Kiffin, the head coach at Ole Miss, got thrown under the bus for saying it ain't about who you got on your team. It's how big how good your booster club is.
Oh, I mean,
it's about how much money your booster club has, and that's I don't think he's wrong. Unfortunate truth in today's game.
Especially
you got guys out there getting sponsorship deals as 19-year-old kids. Hey, come play for our school, and we'll put you on a billboard and give you $100,000 a year.
Especially in the SEC.
How do you say no to that as an 18-year-old kid? Like, why? Right. You know what I mean?
And,
like, how do you say no?
And you know what I heard about the NIL deals? A birdie told me, like an inside source. Those NIL deals, they're really contracts, just like straight up contracts.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
So, like, when those kids signs those contracts, they can't hit the transfer portal.
Really?
It's basically like the NFL. Like, nope, you're stuck here for the next 3 to 5 years. That's why some of those
you're guaranteed 150 grand for the next 3 to 5 years. I get it.
Exactly.
It is what it is. But,
yeah, it's just different from. I think we're trying to find like the footing in that. But we went from a great weekend in college football to another like weird weekend season in the NFL, and we're officially at the halfway point. So I know. Right now, we normally go into like our winners and our losers, but like any job, you're halfway there. You get your mid-year review, and that's what
I hated these, man. Always calls me. He's got the ruler tapping on the desk. He's like, "We gotta talk. I don't like the way you're talking to these kids."
So let's bust out the report card. Let's bust out the report card, and this is what it looks like. Woo. Look at what is there 17 teams that are there are so many teams that are right there. There's very few that are up at the top. And I'll start with you, Slick. Okay. What stands out to you? It doesn't matter what division you want to go to, what team you want to talk about, but what stands out to you in the first half of the year? Like, what's your biggest surprise? We'll talk about the surprises first, but what stands out to you, Slick?
Me personally, the Vikings. Like Philly, like I've been saying it from the beginning. If Jalen Hurts,
number one,
if he had a number one, I feel like things would be different. So the 8-0 for the Eagles doesn't really surprise me because it's not like they were just terrible last year. They had weapons on offense and defense. They have a number one receiver now. They added a couple pieces on defense. Jalen Hurts is still Jalen Hurts. Now they're just putting it together. But the Vikings, they kind of surprised me. I mean, I didn't think that they would be terrible or have a losing record, but 7-1, I didn't see that. I really didn't see the 7-1 record, especially with Kirk Cousins.
We can toot our horns a little bit here because I think all three of us picked the Vikings to win that division this year. And look at that. I mean, I don't think we thought that it would be this drastic right now, but they basically have a 5.5 game lead, if you want to look at it that way, because they've already beat Green Bay once. That's a huge lead with 8 games left.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I thought they would have a winning season, but 1 game away from being perfect. I didn't see that.
Yeah, they got a big test this week too. What stood out to you, Drew? Like, what's your biggest surprise of the midway point of this year?
Yeah, so I'm gonna have some fun with this segment here and kind of backstory here. We know that, Coach Drew, sometimes he's got to hustle a little bit. He's got side businesses, something else that I do on top of bartending. I'm big into sports cards, and I mention it a lot on the show. All right, so I'm having a sports card show this Saturday at the high school I work at, South Jersey Card Show, Cherry Hill East High School, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come on down, get the hottest product. I'm gonna have a little fun with cards tonight, and I'm gonna bring them into the show. And for those of you who are listening and not watching, you'll be able to follow along too. But one of my biggest surprises right now, it goes to the New York Jets, and I would say this guy's got a lot to do with that, and that is Ahmad Sauce Gardner.
Is that an autograph card?
That's an auto. That's a Sauce auto. You want to pull it back up big screen again? You can see it. Nice card there. Low price. $80. $80.
Need some sauce on
no, I'm just kidding. Anyway, no, but the Jets have been one of my biggest. The Jets have been one of my biggest surprises. I was ready to go division by division here, but you kind of caught me off guard. But I think one of the biggest surprises that I've had so far this year is the Jets. And now with Josh Allen being hurt with a partial UCL tear, who knows what's going to happen in that division? Well, all four teams are in it, but nobody expected the Jets to be in it, and they're right in the thick of things right now. So we'll see how they play out for the rest of the year.
And you know what pisses me off, Drew, because it was just after I wrote them off. I was pissed that they lost to the Patriots the week before. I was mad because I picked them. I was like, I'm ready to be on that bandwagon. Let's go, Jets.
Sure.
Here we go. And then they just, one of those.
And then they go out and beat the Bills.
They go out and beat the Bills. I mean, and that's they really, it wasn't like it was a fluke thing. They really played their brand of football.
They played a good game.
They played a really good physical game. Buffalo's got some problems. They cannot stop the run. When teams run at them, it's a problem, right? And you've seen two teams now in their own division because, by the way, I think they're the only division leader right now that has not beat a team within their division. So they lost to the Jets and they lost to the Dolphins. Okay. And both of those teams pack a running game and a defense that's willing to get after the quarterback. So I think you hit the nail on the head there. I loved the way that the Jets played in that game. Now, let me ask you this, Drew. Was that pass interference at the end? Sauce when he threw that 65-yard bomb. I thought it was good defense, but you see defense. Twitter and all this. I thought it was.
Yeah, everybody likes to be the referee on Twitter, you know. I'm the voice of the voiceless. I like to stick up for the. You just watch the game, man. Use your eyes and watch the game.
So just taking a look at this, like I'll start in the NFC. We got the Eagles, Vikings, Bucks, and Seahawks winning their divisions. We picked 3 of those. So we had 3 of those in the preseason and sitting kind of where we expected to be. Now, Tampa Bay's record's not where we expected that to be, but nonetheless, division leader right now. That division's all over the place. But my surprise right now, and guys, it just tastes bad to say it. Like it's hard, to say the Seahawks.
Sure.
Because I don't think we gave them any chance to be where they're at right now. They lost Russ, they lost Bobby, and all that stuff. And quite frankly, where's all the chatter about Pete Carroll being coach of the year right now? Because what he's done with that team and has gotten Geno Smith to play the way that he's playing, got that running game to play the way that they're playing, that defense. It's hard to name some of the guys on that defense because we just don't know them.
Exactly.
And yet they're sitting at 6-3 right now. It's a big deal.
Yeah. You take somebody like Geno Smith, who's been a career journeyman and hasn't had much success, and he's playing at a very high level, and you wait for it to fall off, but it hasn't come yet. To touch on that topic in that same division there, another surprise on the opposite end, you can go Rams or you can go these guys, DeAndre Hopkins and the Cardinals.
The cards for the cards.
Cards with the cards, like
D-Hop, baby. That's a nice card.
Cliff Kingsbury's going. We talked about it over the break, man, or over the weekend. Like Kingsbury's not going to have a job. They got a bye week coming up in a couple weeks.
I thought he was going to get fired. Like I was ready Monday.
I don't think they'll do it when they have a game. I think they'll do it over the bye week. But he's done. He's done.
So this week they're playing against the Rams, which is, both of those teams. It's a make or break for either one of those. Like if there's a playoff game mid-season, it's that game against the Rams and the Cardinals. If the Cardinals lose that game, they go to 3-7. I would not be surprised. They have a bye week after that. Is that what
I think
you're
it's
saying,
2
Drew?
weeks.
A couple weeks down the road.
2 more weeks, yeah.
And they're just being featured on Hard Knocks right now, the in-season version. So
yeah,
really?
I've been seeing
that's gonna be
highlights of
interesting
that.
to tune into that.
Been seeing highlights of that.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy. I'm going to shift over to the AFC side real quick because we talked a lot about the NFC. What about disappointment wise, I'm just going to throw mine out there. The Colts. Like, I think the Colts I think all three of us had the Colts winning that division. They bring in Matt Ryan. They trade multiple picks to go get him. And now all of a sudden Frank Reich's fired and we got Jeff Saturday being their coach. And like, I don't know what the hell is going on in that division, but it's like,
that is crazy.
That's crazy.
You know what Irsay's doing. You're trying to keep booties in the seats, and bringing Jeff Saturday in as the head coach is the only way they're going to do that. He was beloved in Indianapolis. They love him there. It's the only reason for that move is to try and get the fans not to totally, what do they call that? Mutiny this team and just stop showing up. He's trying to save face somehow, keep making money a little bit and bring a guy like Saturday in. It would have been like they gave it to Peyton Manning. I'm sure if he would have said yes, they would have given it to him.
They had to have offered it first, right?
I'm
to
sure
him,
he's got no business being a head coach, but look, he's going to take the next couple months. He's going to run the team, and the coaches are going to coach. He ain't coaching the friggin' team, and he's just going to be the face. And at the end of the season, they'll reevaluate and they'll go from there.
So, Drew, I hear you on that. So my question is, if that's the case, why not hire Reggie Wayne? That's a Hall of Fame receiver.
He's on the staff, right?
And he's on the staff.
Well, he probably wants. You know how that goes when you're firing the head coach. You're firing everybody on the staff too. It don't matter if you're a Hall of Famer or not. Most of the time, everybody's going. Sometimes they'll keep one or two guys.
I don't think Reggie Wayne is going anywhere.
Yeah, but now you're sending a message that it's his job in the future, instead of hiring Saturday, where everybody knows it's not his job. He's a placeholder for the next guy. If you're promoting a guy that's already on staff to your interim head coach, you're laying the foundation and you're portraying the picture that it's this guy's job to lose, and this is his on-job or in-work interview. And I don't think that they wanted that to be the case, because even if he does stick around, I don't think he's going to be the next head coach, and they weren't ready to make that move.
That's actually, I didn't even think about that, Drew, but that's a really good point. And I thought the same thing that you thought, Rick, in that situation. Like, why not at least somebody on the staff? And Reggie Wayne, like, if they're going to go into, those archives, I guess, of players, he's on the staff. He knows everything. Drew, I think you're onto something. I feel like the Colts are going to blow it up. Like, this has, we're blowing it up, and we're going to start over. And they got a lot of pieces there, and I don't think it'll be a complete rebuild, but I think the whole staff's gone. Yeah. I think their quarterback situation, they'll probably draft a guy.
Even if they keep Wayne, it's like you don't want to put him a head coach and then bring him back down and keep him on staff as a receivers coach or whatever he's going to do. So that's why I think they made that move. If you're going to keep Wayne, but they don't want to. You can't be jerking around the hierarchy. Because I don't think he's going to be the head coach.
I mean, I get it. For me, it's you have a coach, experience, part of the organization, Hall of Famer, on staff, and you go grab a guy
who's a Hall of Famer, who's part of the organization,
but he doesn't have any experience.
But he's not on staff. But he's not going to coach the team. He's just a name.
I get it. We know he's not going to coach the team.
I understand that, but
why
are you going to do that to Reggie Wayne? Why are you going to do that to Reggie Wayne or anybody else who actually wants to have a shot at the job?
I get what you're saying, but my thing is, if he wins, they're going to boost Saturday up. Oh my God, Coach of the Year, he did X, Y, and Z. If he does not win, then they're going to hit him with, well, this is his first year and this and da 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 da. I don't know.
Everything that I've heard so far, everybody is under is on the understanding that this guy is not coming in to coach the team. And no matter what happens, it's not going to be because of him, and it's not going to be in spite of him. He's coming in to manage the team for the remaining 8, 9, 10 games, however many games they got left. And then at the end of the season, they're going to find a head coach. That's my opinion.
I think you're right, but I'm with you, Slick, too. But Drew, you kind of sold me on this because I think you're absolutely right. I don't think it would be right to put Reggie Wayne in that situation. I know Irsay's got a lot of respect for Reggie Wayne and those players that brought him, their only championship, quite frankly. But like, what message is that to send to Reggie? Like, here you go. Like, I think Irsay knows that this is not a winnable situation.
Correct.
And he doesn't want to do that to anybody. So he's going to bring in somebody that has no experience, and
no
you can
skin
chalk
in
it
the
up
game
to that.
Saturday.
Exactly. No skin in the game to him. So you're not going to bring in an experienced guy. Like, isn't John Fox also on the staff?
I'm not sure, but
and
I guarantee,
he's
he's fired, dude. Guarantee he's fired. The
I
only
just
one
feel
on,
like
the
this
only
is-
one on that staff that's got a shot of staying is Reggie Wayne because of his history. Everybody else on that staff is gone, and that's how firings work.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say about the Colts, and I just want to hear what you guys have to think about this or have to say about this. What does this do to Matt Ryan now? Because was it Reich's decision to say he's done for the year and we'll bring in Ellinger? Or like, do you think they put in Matt Ryan, or do you think they already said, no, we're done with him. We're going to have Sam Ellinger in, that we're kind of punting on the season. We're bringing Saturday in. Is that kind of the chain of thought you guys are thinking along with Ryan with that? Do you think he's with Reich kind of?
For me, when I saw the hire, I think it's going to go. I think Matt Ryan will get the opportunity to be a starter again. Just because, number one, Saturday, he's a vet. And he understands how the business part goes. He understands just the political part, everything, how it goes in the NFL. And he understands that Matt Ryan is not a terrible quarterback. He just was put in a situation to where it's hard to kind of like rise above. Yeah. I feel Saturday is going to put him back in a position to be a starter again.
I agree with Ricky. I think, if you're going to try and salvage any kind of year out of this, you put Matt Ryan in. I don't like, has Ellinger even done anything? 2 weeks?
No, he got sacked, killed, murdered. Like the Patriots just
awful,
like,
dude.
Miserable.
Anyway.
So some little hype here though, and this is a little bit of a surprise / disappointment because AFC West, I think that was our first show, right? We had built them up. I think everybody had built up the AFC West, but it's the AFC East and the NFC East. It's the beast divisions that have really been taken off. Like even the Commanders are competitive, right? You got the Giants, Cowboys, Eagles, and I mean they're 4-5 though. I mean you look at some of these other teams, they're in it, so to speak. And then you got the AFC East where you got the Bills, the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Patriots. Man, like that's big. When we thought that what those divisions are doing is what the AFC West was going to do, and the Raiders suck. The Broncos, their quarterback's doing high knees on a cross country flight. Like I don't even like that. He's so cringe, man. I can't even do it.
Yeah, he's
I think that's shocking to me, is to see the NFC East, which we have really not seen a lot from them, be really the best division in football, in my opinion.
Well, the AFC West, man, you got one guy who needs to step up his game, and it's this guy right here. All right, it's Justin Herbert.
Oh,
you come out and you throw 60-something touchdowns, however many yards. Like that's a beautiful card right there. That's for sale, $120. Like,
there's no auto on that though. No autograph on that.
No. Listen, Justin Herbert's having a tough year, or not a tough year, but he's not having the year he had last year. And the Broncos, you want to talk about Russell Wilson? If he keeps playing the way he's playing, they're going to have to bring back this guy and put this guy at quarterback. And you're right. That's a 1992 Tommy Maddox card.
Oh, my God.
So they're going to have to bring back Tommy Maddox, and he's going to start playing quarterback again for these Broncos.
Man, it's crazy. I will tell you, I'm excited for the last half of this year, and I can't believe it's already the midway point, but there's some big-time football that's going to happen, and we're going to, fortunately, be able to be here every week to talk about it. So I'm really excited about that, guys. All right, so we're going to move on into our...
I didn't like Denver from the start, so...
He didn't.
And I told you that the staff's going to be fired after the first year, and they actually might.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I don't know if he lasts the season. I don't think Cliff Kingsbury lasts the season. There's another one that I was thinking of.
McDaniel from the Raiders.
Yeah. I saw a fake report come out today that he was getting. I think he's done. Like, there's no way that he makes it through this year. There's no way.
I said that in the beginning. That's
You
another
said
one.
it. No,
I'm not
you
trying to
absolutely
toot my
said it.
horn, but like I said,
You
this
should.
guy. How many more chances is a guy going to get? He can't. He's not a friggin' good NFL head coach.
Not even close.
Hire me, because clearly I can see through this crap.
Nice. Well, we're gonna move on into our 2-minute drill here. We got
Already?
some. Yeah, man, we kind of flew right through that. You guys have anything else to talk about the
Yeah,
first
I
half
got
of
a
the
whole
season?
set of cards here that I got to sell.
Through them.
Let's go. One of my biggest surprises down there. This guy playing great, Travis Etienne. That's a game used jersey right there, man. He's playing BP. You were coming at the guy for the way he runs in the preseason.
I did. I came at him
running sideways. Right now, he's running through the friggin' stadium. He
had 2 tutties, right? He had 2 tutties over the weekend.
He's playing great.
Hey, I called it.
You did.
If the Steelers want to win, they can't play this guy anymore. Kenny Pickett, keep him out of the lineup.
If anybody needs any toilet paper, right there.
Kenny Pickett. It's got bent corners anyway, so it's not in good shape.
You probably can't even see his hands because of the small version.
No, I can't believe we're already at the halfway point, man. It's kind of sad because I always get depressed this time of year because
it goes by.
The holidays
so
are coming
fast.
up, and it's a fun time. But it's like football season's starting to wind down. It's like, oh my god,
I know.
That's like bowl season in college football. Like, I love bowl season, but I hate it. I hate
that. Actually reminds me. That reminds me. Let me bring this back up. Let me go through each one of you guys here. So we'll start with Slick. Who do you think is going to take advantage of the second half of the season and really make a run at this thing?
In what division?
Whatever. Like you pick 2,
anywhere.
3 teams or any division you want. Like, who do you think is primed for a spot?
It's real questionable.
Dude, of all years though, like I think you have a couple teams like right there at the top, right? Eagles, I think until they lose and we start to see some real flaws with that team, they're the best team in football right now.
Yeah, of course. I'm thinking about the guys that are at the bottom.
I got one for you. We'll come back. All right, go ahead, Ray. You got him?
I'm not going to lie, BP. I think you guys will end up making a run.
Oh.
I think you guys will end up making a run.
Perked up.
Oh.
No, seriously, because when I look at the games that you guys have played and the games that you guys have lost, it's not like you guys are getting blowed out like 45 to like 14.
Right.
You guys have been in the mix of games and have been put in situations to win. And just for whatever reason, whether it's somebody blows a coverage or
injuries has really been like
injuries, something like something has affected you guys.
We were wrapping the segment up. And now we're gonna spend another 20 minutes on it. You guys Niners.
You guys on the NFC side, and I think the Chiefs may make a move.
Man, they've been like they look so good. And we talked a lot about Tyreek Hill being, we see what he's doing for Miami. We see what he's doing for Tua, right? Like he's a big time playmaker. But kudos to Andy Reid and that staff and Patrick Mahomes to take basically, a couple new receivers and not miss a beat. We can't say the same thing for Rodgers. We cannot say the same thing for him. So
for my guys for the NFC, and nobody's running away with this division, but listen, this card right here says it. He's got the will to win, and that's number 12, Tom Brady. All right, he's got a clear mind right now. Divorce is out there. It's in the open. It's finalized. It's whatever it needs to be doing. He's going to be focused solely on football, and if that happens, and he can channel that focus solely to football, you're going to see what you saw last week, and he's going to turn into, he's going to come back and be Tom Brady of old. And I think that the Buccaneers can start making a little run here and run away with the NFC South. On Ricky's point, I don't really have anybody for the AFC. I don't have any cards, but I do have somebody for the NFC West. And to Ricky's point, listen, the Niners, they're out. The Seahawks and this guy, Kenneth Walker, it's their division for the taking. And if they can ride him and Geno Smith, as crazy as that sounds, all the way into the playoffs, they're going to have the ability to make some noise. All right. So watch out for the Seahawks taking off, and watch out for Brady focusing in finally, like he showed last week, and finishing out the season. Those are my 2 picks.
I think it's so funny how you like really stray away from those Niners, you know.
Who?
But I'm with you. Like the Seahawks, I have to tip my hat to them, because I know that they're looking like that team that just got like they're playing with house money right now. Halfway through the season, they're playing with house money. Like people had them at 4 wins. I had them at 4 wins. Being at 6-3. Now they have a tougher schedule than San Francisco has coming. I think San Francisco has like the 3rd easiest schedule remaining in the entire league. So that helps them. They're getting healthy at the right time. So I do think San Francisco is going to make a run. Their roster is stacked. As long as they stay healthy, they're going to be right there. Seattle, there's a huge game on Thursday Night Football that's coming up. Is that Jimmy G?
That's Jimmy G.
Guapo.
That's who you're riding into the playoffs.
Guapo.
Right.
Yeah. Well, let me throw some stats at you, because if I told you
only 20 of them, only 20 in the world.
I might call you up for that card. Like,
I
no
got
cap
one for you.
No cap.
I'll show it to you.
You probably just give it to me,
It's
right?
a Niners auto.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you can tell me who it is, because I have no idea. I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I lost my chain of thought. My chain of thought.
We got to roll to the 2-minute drill anyway.
We do got to roll to the 2-minute drill. I'll tell you what, the Titans though, they look good. They look really good. They look like they had the Chiefs number. I think if Tannehill was in that game, it's a little bit different.
21 out of 22 people on that team look good.
Yeah,
I just feel like later on down the line, I feel like they're going to have to be able to throw the ball consistently.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
21 out of 22 starters on that team look good.
Yeah.
Even with Tannehill, I don't think they throw the ball consistently.
Well, I don't think he's going to try to run around as soon as like his first read's not open either.
Yeah.
I think Malik Willis.
I agree with you. Him and Willis are definitely 2 different quarterbacks, but I just feel later on down the line, especially when you get in playoff situations, Henry, they're going to key in on him. Same thing that kind of happened last year and the year before. You key in on Henry, you kind of not stop him, but you contain him. Now it's okay. It's on Tannehill, and now you're forced to throw the ball. And you don't have
AJ Brown, and
exactly. You don't have AJ Brown. You don't have the receivers that you had. So, like, your best receiver right now is Robert Woods, and I like Robert Woods, but I feel like he's one of those great number 2s.
I agree.
Great number 2. I had Chipotle for dinner, but
jeez.
Tell me who this is, BP, before we start the 2-minute drill.
Ty Davis Price.
Yeah, is he any good?
He doesn't have really good vision. I think he's like 3rd on the depth chart right now. He runs hard, and I think he'll develop, but he misses some.
I'll mail you that
holes,
auto.
man.
It's probably worth $2.
It probably is. Go zoom in on you right there. All right, we got our 2-minute drill. Let's get this beat going. Still not.
Good.
Oh,
there we go. All right, here we go. Hey, we had a big week in some news. The Indianapolis Colts fired Frank Reich on Monday and announced former All-Pro center Jeff Saturday will be the interim head coach. We spent a lot of time on that, so I think we got to keep talking about it. But this one was pretty big. This happened yesterday. The Las Vegas Raiders released former first-round safety Jonathan Abram on Tuesday, and today he got picked up on waivers by the Green Bay Packers. So I'm going to start with you, Slick. What do you think about that move? The Raiders just dumping first-round safety a couple years ago. Like, what do you think that's all about?
Honestly, I don't understand it. I just think the Raiders are in a situation to where they're just kind of just trying anything to try to get something to work, just because of the moves that they've made within the last 2 to 3 years. Offensively and defensively, just hasn't panned out to where they thought it was going to pan out. I mean, you got Adams that they just grabbed last year or this season, and due to everything else, he isn't the same guy he was in Green Bay. So I think they're just like kind of like, well, what do we got to lose type deal.
Yeah,
I think somebody predicted that too. I'm not sure.
You totally did. All right, Drew, this
Call
one's
me the
for you.
friggin' prophet.
I can't wait to have him.
Young OG.
Young OG.
Bills quarterback Josh Allen is dealing with the UCL injury, elbow sprain, which is a partial tear of the UCL. You hear pitchers with that, and you start thinking Tommy John surgery, but it's not the same in football. But it's a quarterback and a throwing arm with an elbow injury. So his status for the Bills game against the Vikings, which is a big game, is in doubt. Notable mention on this is that Case Keenum would be the starter if Allen's unable to go, which Case Keenum played for the Vikings back the Minneapolis Miracle, if you guys remember that. Drew, tell me how big of a deal this is for that UCL to be hurt on his throwing arm.
So I always said, man, and like you mentioned, a UCL for a pitcher is a Tommy John usually, no doubt. I always tell my kids when I'm training them, like, dude, if you're a quarterback and you have elbow pain, it means something's wrong with your mechanics, because the way your arm motion is, you should only get shoulder soreness and a little bit of bicep soreness. But if you're getting pain down in that elbow, you're doing something mechanically wrong. So now something's wrong where he's either throwing sidearm or whatever. He's putting too much torque on that elbow. But you got to keep an eye on it, because if he's got a partial tear in there, partial tear has got the ability to fully tear, and that could be a big problem.
Especially if you're throwing over and over and over,
right.
Putting torque on that elbow, right? And I think it's worth mentioning here, I don't want to make too much of a big deal out of this, but when we start talking about mechanics and throwing motions and all that, he struggled with the accuracy early in his career, right? So now I'm curious to see if he stays at that 65, 66% accuracy, or if he drops back down to that 54 that he had when he was struggling as a rookie. This one just came out today. This was kind of surprising. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford is officially in the NFL's concussion protocol, according to head coach Sean McVay. That came out almost like a couple hours before the show. This leaves the status in the air in a critical division matchup against the Arizona Cardinals this weekend. Slick, big deal or no big deal? You think he's going to make it through, or
big deal for sure? Big deal for sure. I mean, he hasn't played the way I felt or thought he was going to play this year. I mean, if you guys remember, I thought that the LA Rams were going to do it way better than they have, but Matt Stafford hasn't played good ball consistently. So the fact that his concussion protocol is up in the air, because if he does play, let's be real, the NFL, they're not really putting him through all the possible tests and making sure they're 100%. They're just getting them to where they can play. You get what I'm saying? So if he's there, he's still not going to be 100. And if he doesn't play, now you got to rely on the backup.
And they haven't protected him well. Like, their offensive line has been in shambles, and now he's in concussion protocol. Like, and this is only halfway through the year, and he struggled with that same kind of elbow soreness, right? We talked about in the preseason. Like, he kind of was, his elbow was hurting and sore, and we're kind of, I don't know. He doesn't have weapons. They're not protecting him. This is a big deal to me, and especially guys, before this matchup.
Just a little producer tip: when the music winds down, that means shut the hell up and move on to the next segment.
Man, if only somebody could just pop on and let us know when it's time, huh? OG!
Hey, I'm okay. No, I got a show to do. Okay, I'm okay. Go ahead back downstairs, Tony.
Was that Tony Three Thumbs?
Yeah, he came running up the stairs. I dropped my wallet. He heard a big bang, and he thought something was wrong. I was like, nah. Them two guys, man, they absolutely love me. They do. I treat them like real men. I let them wear their earrings in my house. Yeah. The Don don't let them do it. They go to the Dons. They can't do it.
Oh, they got to take them out before they get that knocky, huh?
What's up, guys?
What's going on, man? Another big week out. Another big week out of you, there, Prophet.
Yeah. I had some good, a couple of bad, but hey, that's can't
I'll tell you
hit
what.
them all.
I will say this. I rode that Kenneth Walker pick from you a couple weeks ago, and he's been lighting it up for me. So I got to give you credit there.
Well, I made a trade for him.
That's probably my best pick. Yeah, that's probably my best pickup of the season so far. Is that Kenneth Walker pick?
Well, you know what? You keep on listening and learning, son. And in a couple of years, you will be the next prophet. But right now, Jeff,
wait, does that
he
mean
ain't
I'm
got
not
nothing on me.
Does that mean I won't be on full time? Because I like being on full time.
No, we got to have you, Drew. Definitely. Hey, Prophet. So you had a big week. Like you made a lot of good predictions, and I've been thinking about all your stuff kind of throughout the whole first half of the season. And you're definitely batting like 80% on these things. Like you're doing pretty dang good. I think the only one you missed was bench Nick Chubb. But anybody that says bench Nick Chubb, we'll give you a pass on. But I think the Kenneth Walker, all these other ones about pick up Raheem Mostert, he's been playing well. Things like that. And not to mention the survivor pool. Your lock picks of the week have been spot on. I can't wait for what you got because it's starting to get money time in these fantasy football leagues, man. I can't wait to hear what you got for us tonight.
Well, I appreciate that, BP, and I also take this to heart that a pat on the back's only a couple inches away from a kick in the pants. Okay, so I got to keep on performing. It's like
words, man.
I can't live on the past. I got to keep on moving on. And let me just tell you real quick. My grandson's been spending a lot of time. He's stopping over after school. Kid's great, man. He come by this morning. He had math after this afternoon. He had issues with his math, and I'm pretty good with numbers. So I did it the best way I knew how. I went into the liquor cabinet and I pulled out 3 bottles of Patron, and I pulled out 2 bottles of Crown. And I said, okay, I have 3 bottles of Patron and I got 2 bottles of Crown. Now what do I have total? And he looked at me and he said, a drinking problem. I kicked his ass out the door.
Who are you to tell me about my problems?
Oh, dude. That's hilarious.
Snapper, get out of here.
Get out of here. Nobody tells me that when I got my Patron out.
Yeah, that's
All right,
right,
man. So what do we got this week? So we've had some trades like a couple weeks ago, right? We had that trade deadline that just absolutely blew up. We got some new faces in new places. We got bye weeks galore. We got teams on the rise. We got teams on the fall. I can't wait to hear what you got for us this week. So let's start it off. Quarterback. Who's your gotta start quarterback this week?
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna have to read one of my emails to lead into this. Okay, and it was email number 1, and it comes from Larry S. And he says, with Fields putting up so many points the last 3 weeks, is he still a sit? Now, okay, I sense the sarcasm in this guy's finger, okay? And I guess at some point in time I said put Fields on the bench for the year. I don't know. But, okay, guys, I get up at 6 a.m. every morning, no matter what time it is, okay? So, and I start working on this stuff. Okay, good. Thanks, BP. A little slow tonight, but you've been hitting my Patron.
The East Coast to the West Coast. It took a minute, but I got it. We're good.
I at least cocked my head.
And I'm analyzing this stuff, and sometimes you can't put in for variables that are unseen, like a quarterback running for 180 yards in a game and throwing for 120. Okay, I'm old school. Slick Rick, you call me OG all the time. I'm old school. I look at a quarterback, he's supposed to throw the ball, not run. 9 times out of 10, when the quarterback's running more than he's throwing, they're losing the game. Fields, Josh Allen this past week. But that doesn't matter in fantasy, and I get that, and that's what my segment is. So my quarterback for this week is Justin Fields.
Oh, here we go. Look at that.
Now, okay, let me say this though, okay? If you guys want to play Justin Fields and jump up and rah-rah and all great during fantasy time, that's great. Just bear in mind, this guy is never going to win you a Super Bowl. So never. At the end of January, you won't be jumping up rah-rah if you're rooting for this guy.
So, you mean like this year, or you mean like
never.
You said never.
Never.
I like Justin Fields. I'm big on Justin Fields, actually.
Even if he got traded to another team?
Even if he got traded, Slick Rick, you talk about Lamar Jackson all the time, and Lamar Jackson during the year, he's great. He puts up big numbers. But come playoff time, it's like all you have to do is have one defense shut him down in his running game, and the game's over. And
I can't give you that because since he's been in the league, he hasn't had a healthy offense.
Oh, okay.
It plays a part.
That's not. I mean, all I have to go on is what is in front of me. Okay.
All right, Larry's taking shots. Larry's taking shots here. You know, we
Larry,
get
Larry
come
got
on.
up on a little pedestal with Justin.
He did.
He's
like, oh, even Larry knows that I actually. Real talk though, I was high on Justin Fields. I wanted him instead of Trey Lance, just because I saw what he did in Ohio State, the way that he is able to lead, and I'm starting to see how he's turning it a little bit and becoming. They're using him the way that he needs to. Oh, that's a beautiful card right there.
Oh,
that's a great card. I like the start of the week. Fantasy-wise, I think he's great. I wonder how they're going to use him. Running quarterbacks always worry me a little bit because kind of to your point, instead of looking for that second, third, fourth read, right? They drop their eyes down and try to make a play. But nowadays, I mean, look how they're bringing up in college. Like, this is part of the game now.
Yeah.
Like, this is how they start to do it. But the injury factor, that's the thing.
And
he
I don't
takes
like
some hits and he just pops up like it's no big deal. But like, I mean, these are fast, grown men that are running 4.5s chasing his ass down. So I do worry about that.
We're going.
I agree, but I don't like it. I agree that that's the direction that the game's going, but I don't have to like it.
I love the old school part of it. So he's your start of the week. I like that.
Cloud of dust for the profit.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so running back wise, speaking of 3 yards and cloud of dust, who's your starting running back this week that's got a great matchup?
Came back strong last week. Get him back in your lineup. Cora, how you say his name? Cordell Patterson.
Oh, okay.
Patterson.
Yeah, he's.
He came back in a big way.
Yeah.
Did you guys see how he ran the linebacker over?
I know. He's a beast. He is a beast, and. You know, Algier showed that he could play, so he is going to get some of Patterson's touches moving forward, but he isn't going to make a big impact on it. Get Patterson in there.
Is he a running back in your league, or is he a receiver?
I don't know. Ask the prophet.
I believe he's a receiver. I believe in all the fantasy leagues he's a receiver.
I just know that Taysom Hill got banned in our league.
Oh, what was he at? Like
tight end?
Yeah, tight end.
Okay.
I gotta look. So I think that it depends on the league that you're in. They probably have him as a running back or receiver. I know like Deebo Samuel carries that same kind of title, but Cordell's not out there catching routes, is he?
Yeah,
no, not very often. He's
not very often anymore. But I think he's still labeled as a receiver.
Yeah, okay. He still wears number 84, which is weird to me.
That is weird. It's weird to see in the back.
Kind of how Montgomery was when he first got to the league.
Montgomery, right? This guy you're talking about. Yeah. Okay, so we got Cordell Patterson. When he totes that rock, he makes a difference, and we know Atlanta likes to do that. They like to run the ball as much as they possibly can because that's really kind of their bread and butter. So I like that matchup you got there. Now let's go receiver. Who's got a great matchup this week that you just can't put him on your bench?
That guy from New Orleans, Chris Olave.
Olave.
I got him.
I think he's going to have a big game against the number 36 ranked defense in the league, and pass defense. I could see him lighting it up this week, and it's possible.
He's been playing really well as a rookie receiver this year. Like he's becoming their number one, and Michael Thomas is kind of becoming that afterthought over there, right?
Well, Thomas is out for the year now.
Yeah, and he's out for the year, yep.
Landry could be back this week, and Landry coming back is only going to help him. It's not going to hurt him. It's going to give either Winston or Dalton. I said last week to pick up Andy Dalton, but after watching that game Monday night, I don't know. Dalton may be, looking at the sideline soon.
For who?
Yeah, like I feel like what's going on with Winston there? Like why is he sitting on the sideline? I know that he was hurt.
Dalton was producing when he was out, and they kept Dalton in there. But I don't know. At some point, Dalton hasn't been producing the last couple of weeks. So
he hasn't been. No.
Yeah. At some point, they may.
I like that. Olave has been that. He's been that guy on their offense that he's got a lot of he's got a lot of spring in his step. He's getting open. He's getting separation. He's making plays after he catches the ball, getting down the field, getting in the end zone. I like that. Now let's talk about who you don't like. Okay, who's that quarterback that you sit their ass down this week?
Well, it's funny. Derek Carr is the guy.
Hey, Drew, there he is. Derek Carr. He's telling him to sit him.
I sat him week 0.
Yeah,
he did.
You guys were you guys were talking about putting booties in the seats earlier and all, and I was talking to my buddy out in Vegas today. He said yesterday he had 2 tickets for an upcoming game. He couldn't give them away because he couldn't go, so he put them on his windshield wiper when he went to the mall, figuring somebody would take them.
No.
When he came back out, he had 6 tickets.
Oh my God!
I mean, they don't want to. They don't want to watch it. Their fan base is still traveling from Oakland. I mean, Vegas is tired of these bums.
Yeah, and they have a good hockey team there, so they're used to, so they're used to winning.
The
there,
Knights are good. Yeah, for
right.
the
They went to the playoffs last year. The Rangers went to the playoffs last year. I think. Drew, do you think this is McDaniels? By the way, like, do you think this is all
and
McDaniels?
Derek Carr? I think it's the head coach, and I think it's the quarterback. You got a receiver who can make plays in his friggin' dreams, and you don't have anybody to get the ball to him. And we got a defense that we talked about being progressively better than they were last year, getting better in the offseason with some acquisitions that they made. And you got a head coach who's incompetent, who's probably coaching for that team that you played against in Germany last week. You showed all them friggin' highlights again.
You had to go there. Yeah, I think he's a former employee of the St. Mary's School of the Blind. Absolutely.
Yeah, janitor. Not that there's anything wrong with custodians. I do appreciate them.
He's a member of the custodial arts. All right, so we got quarterback out the way, running back wise. Who don't want you? Who you don't want in your lineup because it's going to be a bad week?
Running back and the receiver coming out of the same game. Melvin Gordon and Robert Woods. Okay. Melvin Gordon, they're going up against Tennessee's run defense, and
they're tough. We saw it. We saw it.
They are tough, and like I said last week, they're starting to play ball now. And they started out slow, but they're getting it together now. And Robert Woods, going up against the number 1 pass defense in the league, and you don't know who's going to be chucking the rock, and it doesn't really matter whether it's Willis or Tannehill, I don't think.
Turn around and hand it to 22 if you're on that team. I'll tell you, Tennessee impressed me.
Contain them.
Yeah, and I got to eat a little bit of crow there because we talked about it's a matter of time before Derrick Henry his wheels fall off, right? And man, he looks good. He looks good. So Melvin Gordon, put him on the bench, and you said Robert Woods.
Robert Woods,
right?
Yep.
Get him on and that's a good defense that Denver has. So I like that. As far as you don't want him in that matchup.
The pass defense is great. And who was it? Was it
It's gonna be a low scoring game, I bet too.
Wasn't Denver? Wasn't Denver over in England 2 weeks ago before their bye, and Etienne ran through them against Jacksonville?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Jacksonville. They've been right in there, but they. Denver's got a really good defense.
I'm saying Denver's run defense isn't that good, and they lost Chubb. They lost Chubb since that game too.
Yeah, they did. You're right.
That's going to hurt them there too.
Always bad to lose a Chubb.
Yeah. Always bad. Always. Never good.
I got something for you if you're having a problem.
Yeah. There it is. There you go. You got it right there. Pop it up. All right. Who's your lock of the week?
Okay, let's. And again, it's nice. I said this last week. I told you guys the Eagles probably weren't going to play their best game, but they still were going to win that game.
You said
they didn't.
To the T.
They didn't. But
too bad we couldn't get the score right, fellas.
Yeah, I know. Lucy's probably hates us, by the way.
They ain't giving out any pizzas.
We give them hope.
True.
They give the customers hope.
They would hate us if we were hitting every week, I guess.
They would, yeah.
But similar situation this week. I mean, I'm going with Kansas City this week. They had a big win last week, and this is what we call in the industry a sandwich game. You know, they had a tough win last week, and next week they got a tough division game against the Chargers. You know, and Jacksonville comes to town. I think Jacksonville's going to give them a game for a half, but then in the second half they're going to pull away and win this one.
Okay, I like it. Do you still have Kansas City out there too?
Kansas City is still alive.
Cool. I like that. I like that. Okay. Now, I know that you got some announcements that you want to make. You got some emails. We talked about the winner of our DraftKings, which we're going to post right after the show. So we'll talk about the winner last week. I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, real quick. This with the Win the Profits, okay, this past week, our good friend and listener Woodrow won the
Woodrow
DraftKings.
got it.
Yeah, good job, Woodrow.
Nice.
He was only 14 points away from getting the extra 5, but 14 points is 14 points. Woodrow, sorry, buddy. Yeah, you know what they say.
14 points is $5, and
you hit 9, you get 9. You know, and we're still at 15, right, BP?
Yep,
15
we're still at
people,
15. Yeah,
Okay, we're
still
at 15. Same thing. Get in, guys. Get in. It's easy. It's fun. It's money. Free money.
Free money. That's the best part about it.
And as always, a huge shout out to the Blitz Nation, man. Without you guys, we don't do what we do here. We're happy to do it for you. And my last thing is, I already did Larry's email, so let me get the email number 2, and it comes from Jake FSF, and he asked Prophet. Wait. Jake FSSF. Jake from State Farm, maybe. I don't know, maybe. Okay, he said, should I start for my
What do you have on?
Khakis?
Khakis.
I didn't ask him that, Slick Rick, man. I guess I can reach back out to him.
Every time, you're there with Viagra sucking your throat, don't ask what he's got on. You need to call your doctor. It's been more than 4 hours.
Okay, at any rate, he wants to know whether to play Jerry Jeudy or Darnell Mooney. And
hey, I want to know the answer to this.
Well, they're both going against bad passing defenses, but Denver may have to throw the ball more to have a win this weekend. So I'm going to go with Jeudy. Yeah,
I like it.
That's who I think is the better pick there.
I have a point, Prophet, that I want to run by you and share with all our viewers, and you can thank me later. And you'll find this interesting because I haven't shared this with anybody yet. I heard an interesting stat from somebody on social media the other day, and it said this happens 60% of the time over the last 5 years in the NFL. If an NFL team is favored by 9.5 or more points, the under in the game hits 60% of the time.
Ooh.
For all you listeners out there, over the past 5 years, 60% of the time the under has hit. For all you listeners out there who like to play a little bit, if there's any team minus 5 points, minus 9.5 points or more, the under in the game hits 60% of the time, because the reasoning was either the underdog comes out and plays great defense and keeps the game close, or the favorite comes out and they get out to an early lead and then they take the foot off the gas in the second half and it stays under. Interesting stat. Figured you would like to hear that. Figured you would like to hear that there, Prophet, and all the listeners out there.
I like that. Matter of fact,
and if you remember back to 1995 when you were still a young lad,
yep.
I told you that stat.
Oh, you did? So it's been 20 years then.
And like you said, the whole purpose, the whole reasoning behind it is that if the favorite wins, it goes over. If the underdog wins, they normally play a low-scoring game. That is true. Now, you want something a little better even. Okay, 80% of the time, teams that win the game cover the spread. So and if you look at them, it's happened again this year. 82%. The winners of the game are the spread covers. So if you're betting and you like an underdog, Play them straight up.
You know
Now,
what they say
unless
about
you're
my
in,
cologne? 60% of
leave
the
it
time
alone.
it
works
works
every time.
every time.
Every time. It smells like Big's foot. Never mind.
It smells like.
Hey, I thought this was funny. I came across this tweet. I came across this tweet. Okay. Now, we know we just came off a big election. You know, there's election stuff like that. And I'm not going to get like deep into it. This tweet like had me rolling. So California shot down their legalized gambling. So like big time. Like everybody voted against it. So I read this tweet today that had me dying. So California is drawing the line at legal sports betting is hilarious. You can take heroin in state-approved clinics, but you can't take TCU +7 this weekend legally. That killed me, man.
That's crazy
man.
to me.
Is that crazy? Like,
We're not going down that road. We're not going down that road, BP.
Marijuana is legal, but
I thought
gambling
for
isn't.
sure like that was on there. I'm like, sweet, because when I was in San Francisco, so it's illegal here in Idaho. You got to go across to Oregon, but I was like in San Francisco. I was like, let's see what bet I can make. Wait a second, it's not legal here.
Yeah,
everything's legal here. Like, what's going on?
We're not going to get banned for. We're not going to get like blacked out for talking about this on the podcast, are we?
No, absolutely not.
I didn't know your weird rules in Idaho,
Nice.
My question is, though, can you parlay TCU and 3 California overdoses?
Oh, my God. That's the one.
No,
There's the line.
That's a little too high,
Get it?
So you get
Hey, we
6
appreciate your
6 to
comment,
1.
man. We got to get to our picks.
All right, guys.
Man. We appreciate you, man.
Keep it going, guys. Great show.
Thanks, man. All right, let's get on to our picks. We got let's go to our leaderboard here real quick. We got a tight race. My mother has taken the lead, 85 points. And we got QB right there, 83. It's a tight race. Greg, I think this might be one of your guys, by the way, Drew. 82 points. We got Heben 55, 82.
My brother-in-law, Greg, but he doesn't really like you, so I don't know if he's participating or not.
He's a Cowboys guy, right?
He made fun of Elliott for being fat.
Well, Pollard's been ripping it up. So, all right. So we got that, and let's move on.
Your name's the only one on there. I beat you this week.
Oh, you got to jump into the fan, leaderboard. It's okay. You did beat me this week. I actually I don't
know how to navigate the friggin' app. It's very confusing because the only picks I ever see is R4. I can't see anybody else who's in it.
It's another completely different one.
I'm not being. I can never see anybody else. I only see us. Like I don't see it.
You're good.
Crap.
No,
where am I on the leaderboard?
So you're 83. So you'd be right here in third. Because I'm 84. I still got the lead on you.
All right.
You'd be right there. You're right there. All right, let's move on to our Lucy's New York style pick of the week. Let's get the banner up for this right here. So we got the Falcons at the Panthers, divisional game. Falcons 4-5, Panthers 2-7. Falcons only 2.5 point favorites, which is kind of shocking to me based off of their records. So we'll start with Slick. What do you like about this game? And we got to get a score in here. So who's your pick, and what do you think is going to happen here?
First of all, I don't like anything about this game because both organizations have been terrible. But I will say I did go with the Falcons just because I feel like they're a tad bit better than the Panthers. I go low scoring. I'll go maybe maybe 14-7.
Ooh, low score? Okay, 14-7 14-7 Falcons or 14-7
Falcons.
Panthers?
Yeah, I picked the Falcons.
14-7 Falcons. All right. What do you got on this, Drew?
BP, can I just say something? The other night I cooked on my Blackstone, and I usually get the multicolored little tiny potatoes, the red and the blue and the white ones, and smash them up, and I make smashed potatoes. Dude, I got these yellow Idaho potatoes the other night, and I diced them all up, and I put seasoning and fried them up with some onions and stuff. Dude, they were banging. So you guys literally do make the best potatoes and grow the best potatoes. I'm proud. I'm proud to say that I'm friends with somebody from Idaho because those potatoes were bussin'. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
anyway,
you send me a card, I'll send you some potatoes.
I got the Falcons tomorrow night in a snooze fest. Carolina, they might come out to play for the first half, but I think the Falcons, not that they're anything to write home about. I'm going to keep it short, keep it sweet. Falcons 24-17.
Oh, you're killing me.
Oh, sorry. 24-16.
Killing me. No, I said 24-17. I was literally just thinking that in my head. I'm gonna take the Falcons as well. So Baker Mayfield's back at the helm. I just think the Falcons play really physical football, and we saw the Panthers last week not be able to stop the run really well. I'm gonna take the Falcons 24, but the Panthers 14.
Okay.
So I feel like we can handle that. So 24-14. And that's our Lucy's New York style pick of the week. And remember, if it's not Lucy's, forget about it.
Tony, we're Tony Tree Fingers.
Tony Tree Ducks. He heard my
Does
wallet
Lucy's
drop.
have gnocchi?
No, he did it all for the gnocchi. Hey, this one's a little bit close to us, boys. So this game's over in Munich, Germany. Good Morning Football has been
Jersey.
there.
It's not close to me.
Germany.
We've been in Rostock. We've been over there. That far.
Munich's a quick 6-hour hike from Rostock. It's good.
Oh man, if you're going fast,
it's about 6 hours.
I think it's like 6 to 8 hours, maybe. Depends on how you're getting there. But either way, this is a big game, guys. Big game in the NFC. We got two division leaders here. We got the Seattle Seahawks at 6-3. Probably should get that going here, right? There we go. We got the Seahawks 6-3, the Buccaneers 4-5. Both leading their divisions. Bucks, though, 3-point favorites. That's kind of a shock to me. We'll start with you, Slick. Who do you like in this game?
I picked the Seahawks.
Over the pond. Seahawks, okay.
I picked the Seahawks. It's a neutral site. Let's be real. The Bucks haven't been playing great football. Tom Brady hasn't been playing great. Yeah, he squeezed one out last week, but I mean, you still can't.
Squeezing a lot out without Giselle, you know what I'm saying?
But you still can't erase the fact of what he's done in the past, like the last 2-3 weeks. Like we talked about earlier, Geno has been playing pretty good ball. Seahawks been playing good ball overall without having a bunch of superstars and all-stars and big names. I think I might go 28-14.
No.
Seahawks. Okay.
Seahawks.
He's got Seahawks.
Scores. We only pick. But.
What do you got? What do you got on this?
See,
we got a full day of football, by the way. 9:30 a.m. your time, early.
Yeah,
right.
It's nice.
Yeah,
it's good. I don't have anything going on Sunday, so we're good. The beauty about this game being in Germany is the German women don't know how bad Tom Brady's been playing this year. All right, so he can go over there and he's still Tom Brady, friggin' the GOAT, hot shot, who's got all these records and stuff like that, and say, yeah, I'm the SHIT, and that's what's going to happen. I got the Buccaneers in this one. Letters. I'm telling you. I said it earlier about my keep an eye on them. Tom Brady's got the will to win here. All right. And if he can get on a little run to finish out this season, somebody said it in the comments, it's the Bucks division to lose, man. And I got the Buccaneers over the Seahawks in this one.
I like where your head's at, Drew. So Seahawks, I feel like this is a big game for them. It's also a big challenge. Now, I did a little bit of research here. I was thinking that the flight from Tampa over into Germany is going to be a lot shorter time-wise than it is from Seattle over to Germany, right? Like that's what we think, by probably a few hours. It's only an hour difference, guys. Do you know this? It's only an hour difference in length.
It didn't take me that long when I flew from New York. Where the hell did you fly from?
Me?
I know where you flew from, Idaho, but you went to West.
No, I flew from Salt Lake. Yeah, Salt Lake.
Wait, the Earth?
Yeah, I think it has something to do with the jet stream, but yeah, whatever.
So you went left?
I didn't go left. No, I think it has. No, I think if you start.
Did you cross over the Atlantic or the Pacific?
Atlantic.
Oh, so you drove all the way, or you flew all the way across the country first to get over the border.
Yeah, I flew out of Tampa and landed. I forgot where I landed. Across. Yeah, I had like 2 or 3 flights before I even got on like one of the international planes.
I went from New York to Brussels or to London.
By the way, those planes in Brussels, right? Do you remember those?
Yeah, those planes in Brussels. Yes. How about getting held up in customs in Brussels because I was? Let me tell that story one day. And it's not going to be tonight because we're running late. But hey, Rostock Griffins, I love you guys, but you guys got me almost friggin' arrested in Germany or in Belgium. And he said, "Oh, can you pay for it?" I didn't forget, Putzi.
Oh my
I was in
God.
handcuffs, dude, and friggin'
Were you really in handcuffs?
Yes, they handcuffed me.
We're talking about this next week. We're
Oh my
100%
God! It
talking
was.
about this
I was
next
like,
week.
But
dude, good thing I was 3 hours early for my flight. I was friggin' detained for 3
But
hours
see-
in an interrogation room.
Oh
Saying,
my God.
What do you mean football? We don't play football here. I said, what? I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I was playing football. All right, anyway.
I
story for
wish I
another
could.
time.
Oh my God. Okay,
Thanks,
so
Butsy.
who do you got this one, Drew?
I already gave my pick.
Oh, you got Tampa Bay. Hold on. It's like, whoa. Who's got it? All right, I'm going to go with Tampa Bay as well. Now, listen, this is somebody nobody's thinking about. Tom Brady's going to the homeland of where his ex-wife's from, Tampa Bay all day. He's raining on the Seahawks, man. Tell me about it. He's letting it go. I got Tampa Bay in this game. All right, big game. This is a huge game. Vikings at the Bills.
Next week, Jeff, we got it.
Yeah, we got it. We'll
Tune in. I'll be in costume and everything.
Handcuffs.
They'll be in costume.
Yeah, handcuffs.
All right, Vikings, Bills. We'll start with you, Slick. Who you got?
I got the Vikings.
Ooh, is it
Yep.
okay? Is that anything to do with Josh Allen?
No. I like the Bills. I like Josh Allen. I just feel like the Vikings have been playing good ball. And as long as everyone stays healthy, Cook, Jefferson, everybody, like Kirk Cousins, like I'm not saying I'm a fan, but I respect what he's been doing since he's been in Minnesota. Because last year, like he threw for like 4,000 something, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, Kirk's playing.
Like it was like close to 5. So like a lot of people like sleep on him just because he's not an Aaron
I think he only had
Rodgers.
like a handful of picks too. It's like
That's what I'm saying.
touchdowns,
Like
handful of
he
picks.
put up big numbers last year, and this year he's been playing ball. Josh Allen, like we talked about earlier, the Bills, they have trouble with the run, and then at times Josh Allen, he's still a young guy, just like Lamar Jackson, those guys that came in with him. So sometimes they try to do too much, and they end up putting the offense in some type of like negative situation. So I feel like he may do that, and I feel like Kirk Cousins was just go his pace and just continue to do what he does, hand it off here and there,
He's
here
got
and there.
weapons too, and they can run the ball. They can run the ball.
Throw it to Jefferson and KJ Osborne and some of those.
Don't forget Adam Thielen now.
Yeah, Thielen. Like I just feel like he's just going to play his game, and I feel like they'll come out on top.
Okay, Drew, do you concur with that or disagree?
Look, this is a mini card. Okay, very rare, very valuable. Only 125 of these in the world. This is a mini card. The man on this card, Dalvin Cook, has not been anything mini this year. And this game is going to continue his trend of coming up big, very big, and dominating football games. And I think the Vikings are going to win this game. Allen is a question mark with his elbow. Don't like that at all. I got the Vikings winning in this one.
Man, you guys have some really good arguments. Almost thinking about changing my pick, but I'm not gonna. I'm taking the Bills in this. I think his arm's going to be just fine. I think Allen's arm's going to be just fine. And even if Keenum plays, the Vikings struggled against the Commanders last week. Let's not forget about that. They had to come back and win that game last week against the Commanders. This is in Buffalo where those people are jumping through tables before the game. It's going to be cold. I got the Bills in this game. Now, if this was in Minnesota. No, this is in Buffalo. Yeah, in a dome. In a dome.
You think they don't live in Minnesota, cuz? Like, what do you think?
They don't play ball. They don't play ball outside of Minnesota.
Come on, man.
I'm telling you what, I got Buffalo in this game, and I'm going to get another game up on both of you guys because both of you guys got Minnesota.
Yeah, what am I going to do with you guys? Oh, jeez.
Huge game.
Toilet bowl here.
Huge game. It's a huge game because whoever loses this, they're done. Like you can say that about the Cardinals right now, but the Rams, defending Super Bowl champions, right? If they now 3-5, the Niners were 3-5 last year, went to the NFC Championship game with how the entire just skipping right past it, huh? Who you got? Who you got, Slick?
Originally I had the Rams, but before you told me the whole situation with Stafford, like I didn't know that Stafford had the whole elbow deal and the concussion protocol. So now it's, I don't know. Like I might change my pick to the Cardinals
doing that
because if the Rams don't have Stafford,
you can't change your pick. You're locked in, Rick. What did you?
You're right. Okay, I'm locked in with the Rams. All right, let's go. I'm locked in with the Rams. I'm locked in with the Rams.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp.
Yeah, Lloyd. All right, so you're sticking with the Rams. Okay,
I'm gonna stick with the Rams.
All right, it's in LA, which who knows what fans are going to show up there because it's LA. But Drew, so now were you trying to convince him to not pick the Cardinals?
No,
Yeah,
I wasn't. And I just
He
looked
was.
at my picks, and I'm like, why did I pick these guys? But I got the Cardinals.
Question mark.
Exactly.
I did it quick, dude. I don't know. I was at friggin' lunch period. I was in the middle of two kids fighting. I'm like, dude, stop. I'm making my friggin' picks for tonight. All right. I got nothing else going on right now. All right. I don't need to listen to your yelling. And I hit the wrong button, but I've got the friggin' Cardinals over the Rams.
All right. I got the Rams on this one. Why does it keep going? Why does it keep?
It's like the gods of
yeah, they don't want to talk about this game. I got the Cardinal. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'm not even touching the mouse.
Yeah,
I got the Rams in this one. They need to win badly after getting beat last week, and Jalen Ramsey kind of made some comments. This is a must win for them. I think the Cardinals are done, but the Rams cannot lose this game. This is every bit of a must win for them. They got to. I think they will. So I'm picking the Rams in this. All right, finally, the slide wants to keep moving on. So we got the Chargers. By the way, Slick, I'm ready for this for you because I know that you're like a mini Chargers fan here against the 49ers. This is on Sunday Night Football. Niners 7-point favorites right here, boys. Just let you guys know that before you guys make your picks here. So, Slick, who you got, man? What do you like about this game?
I got the Chargers. I just feel like two West Coast teams. Like we talked earlier, Herbert hasn't really been Herbert, but they still been trying to find ways to like get the offense and everything else going. They have some key injuries, but I feel like the Chargers is going to pull this one out against the 49ers.
Okay. All right. I can take that. Even though the Niners are supposed to go on a run, like you said before, and whatever. All right. Who you got? Who you got, Drew?
I'm going to give you your time, and I know we're running late. Chargers, go ahead, BP. Take your friggin' 10 minutes.
Hey.
My God, Drew.
Hey. The Niners are getting healthy, boys. The Niners are getting healthy.
Right.
Let me just ask you this. You guys know I got the Niners in this, but let me ask you who Justin Herbert's going to be throwing the ball to this week. It doesn't matter who he's throwing the ball to this week, boys, because he's going against.
Son of a bitch.
It doesn't matter who he's throwing the ball to because he's going against one of the best defenses in the league. He's not going to have time to throw. He's got guys hurt out there. The Niners, it's at home. I got the Niners all day. All right, we got to get to our hot shot of the week. We got to get there. We're running late. Let me play the song at least.
Hot shot.
Do you guys know where that clip's from? Please.
I know. I was gonna say we should do a quiz or pop quiz, hot shot. We should do a hot shot or quiz with the viewers.
Yeah, we should definitely do that.
Put in the comments. All right, before you say comments, does anybody know where that line is from?
I'll play it again. Ready?
Pop quiz, hot shot.
Somebody's got to know.
They're like 30 seconds, and then it's not really that big of a deal.
All right. Where's it from, Drew?
Oh, it's from Speed.
Speed, of course. What a great line in that movie.
It's Keanu Reeves' movie.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu.
We can't go under 55 miles
Jeff
an hour.
Got it.
There we go. Larry didn't get it. Disappointed.
Wildcat, huh?
Oh, my God. All right, Slick, who you got, man? Who's your hot shot of the week?
So, as you know, last week, my hot shot of the week was the fact that we made the playoffs. So, like I told you, we were the 8th seed last week. Two teams that we needed to lose, they lost. Now we're the 6th seed, and we're playing against my alma mater for repeat.
Is it Manta?
Manatee.
Manatee, okay.
But we're at Manatee. So, I haven't been on the sidelines at Manatee High in a while. So the fact that we're going back to school that raised me, yeah, I'm going back to the crib. Like, that's a big deal for me. I know it's going to be really emotional. So that's my hot shot of the week, man. Like, we trying to make history. Trying to make history.
Go get him, man. Get that. We're rooting for you, dude. We're rooting for you. All right,
Appreciate
Drew.
it.
Who you got, man?
So, instead of going the sentimental route, I'm going to go the football route on this one. And
Last time you
my
went the
hot shot-
sentimental route, you chose yourself. I remember that.
Me. I picked me. I'm the hot shot of the week. No, I can't do that again, bro. Even though that was the best hot shot of the week. I'm not
That
going to
was a
lie.
damn
or
good
toot
hot
my
shot
own
of the
horn, but you know what I'm saying. My hot shot of the week goes to Joe Mixon. Had a huge game, 4 rushing touchdowns, 100. I thought it was 4, or he might have had a receiving.
Oh, you said rushing. You're right. 4 rushing,
5 touchdowns
one,
total.
yeah.
Dude
you're
had
right.
a huge game for a team that had such high expectations in the offseason or in the preseason. They needed that, man. And with Jamar being down, it's really hurt them, I think, more than a lot of people know. So my hot shot goes to Joe Mixon. I just thought about that. I don't like that pick. Never mind. I'm just gonna stop talking.
Wow, that never happens.
Yeah,
Never
go
happens.
ahead. Next.
Hey, my hot shot of the week, I'm going to go with Justin Fields. Now, here's why. I love the way that he's been responding this year, and you can see him literally getting better every single game. In fact, I don't like to plug a lot of other people's content on here, but this is one that I really enjoy. If you're a real football nerd, go check out JT O'Sullivan on the QB School. He's got a really great breakdown of Justin Fields this last week. But you can see him getting better every single week. And in this, I guess the society that we live in now, everything's got to happen now, right? When you get these rookie quarterbacks, you expect it now, and you don't see that development that we've kind of seen like in the 90s and maybe early 2000s of being able to have a guy maybe struggle but kind of develop down the road and do well. Like everything's got to be, oh, it's his second year and he's not doing anything. He's a bust. He's kind of risen up through that, not a whole lot of weapons, and you can see him get better. You can see that coaching staff start to use him in the way that his college, his strengths. So I'm going Justin Fields, man. I like the way that you're playing right now, and if you continue on that trajectory, it'll be a real problem in the NFC.
Yeah.
So here you go, man. Justin Fields, I love it, man.
And if this guy could, create a connection with him, Claypool game used jersey
He'll
there
give
from
him
the
that number
Steelers.
1 receiver look. He definitely would give him a number 1
He'll
receiver.
be in a lot better shape there, Mr.
He
Fields.
would.
So
He would be.
maybe the Bears can make a turnaround here, Bob.
Maybe they can make a turnaround there. The Bears and the Bulls.
Long one tonight, boys. It was a fun one.
It was good. I tried to cut it short, but whatever.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you got
I-
What do you got on
I
that
gave-
sign back
I
there?
gave you 10 minutes for friggin' the Niners. Hey, a goose is to geese as a moose is to a moose. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
Why is it not meese?
Meese.
Why is it not? Why is a
meese?
moose not a meese?
Tony Tweetham's
For-
got to explain this to
It
us.
doesn't make any sense. Prophet, next week, I expect an answer to this question.
I need it. Same time, same channel next week. Can't wait to see you guys. Appreciate
Stay
you.
back home.
We're out.
Yes, sir.